muted.
Laura. With me today, I have Megan. Megan is in the middle of something right now. I apologize. So we have Megan, and we have so many great things to go over with you guys today. So everybody is muted. So if you have any questions, please chat those in, and Anissa is going to help us with the chat and answer all the questions that you guys have. And today we're going to go over first, before we get into our big reveal with our guest speakers, what's new with our ASNOA, what's new with the ASNOA University. I have a surprise announcement. I am so excited about it. If anybody wants to chat in what they think it is, send me a chat, because I got some big news. Then we're going to go through and we're going to go over agency referral programs. And then I'll show you guys how to track referrals in Epic. And as always, you guys can email training@asnoa.com. And we're going to go ahead and get started. We're going to thank Brian Bradley from Nebraska and Steve Gebhardt from Arizona for being our guest speakers today. We're really excited to have them on board with us. And what they're going to show us is how they work there and track their referrals in Epic, how they go out and get all of that referrals, reviews, and everything. They're going to show that to us in a little bit. But first, what I want to do is talk to you about what's new with the university. I got some mind-blowing things that are going on around here.
Mind-blowing.
And you are not going to want to miss what's coming up.
Nope.
All right, but first I want to tell you to visit our asnoa.com. So all of our education weekly trainings are on the website. So if you go into asnoa.com and you go to our ASNOA University, you can register for our live trainings. We have weekly live trainings, and you can register for those where? At asnoa.com. And all of our online classes and our courses, our workshops, our video library where we store all of our how-tos on things in Epic, that's all on YouTube, and our events calendar. So anytime you want to see what's going on, or maybe you have some time, you're like, hey, I know Laura had this class on Tuesdays at noon. I'm going to go into the events calendar and I'm going to register for that. So we look forward to everybody joining all of our live sessions, all of our online courses. But the newest one is Easy Links Tips and Tricks. So I'm going to come in about an hour, answer any of your questions that you may have, and we can go through it, because some of you are not using Easy Links to its fullest. It is really important that you are quoting with all of your carriers so they know that you are quoting with them. So join the sessions. It's typically on Tuesdays at noon Central Time. All right, so ASNOA exclusive. So selling life insurance can be intimidating, but Joe wants all of his affiliates, everybody with our organization, to not miss out on the rewards that life insurance has for your clients. So that's why he's put together this 4-part series workshop to help all of the agents understand product options, figuring out where to start, and getting the access to resources that are exclusive to our ASNOA affiliates. So you will not want to miss this workshop with Joe and his expert guests. So you can register online and at our events calendar, and it's going to start on March 4th. So it's every week in March from 10 to 11 Central Time. Really exciting. Workshop with Joe. Also, the personalized coverage course is available. It's for all backgrounds, senior personal account managers, newly licensed agents, and even if you've been an agent for 20 years. We've had some great reviews of people who are actually learning some new things. It's a refresher course. We've heard that people who are just now taking their license exams, that it pulled it all together for them. So registration is open. It starts May 19th. It goes to June 4th. It's Tuesdays and Thursdays for 3 weeks. So registration is open for that, and you can get to that through ASNOA University at asnoa.com. All right, so join that. Be part of our graduation wall. We have people that are graduated from Kathy's small business commercial class that is going on now, and from our last personal lines coverage course that was in December. So we have so many exciting things going on. So please register for our upcoming sessions. And just a reminder that we are only keeping in 30 days of suspense. Some of you that are new onto Live with Laura's, we kind of throw out what's going on in our Asnoa University. So we want everybody to know 30 days of suspense. And if you're having problems getting some of your items out of suspense, register for the weekly servicing help class. And I will be there to help you get all of those out. It's really important that you're getting your policies out of suspense so your policies don't end up on the outstanding commission report. And that report comes out monthly to you. Our accounting department sends that out. If you see one of your clients on there, you need to get that into Epic right away, so they can reconcile commission. So the outstanding commission report means we received commission here in the home office and that we want to pay you. We don't know who to pay. So that report comes out, it has your agency's name on it. So get that into Epic. Email Patrick in our accounting department that you entered that in so he can reconcile commission. All right, best news ever. I know you guys are so anticipating this. I know, so wait for it. Yes, no more AZA, COA, MOA, NEA structures. So that's right, Arizona, Colorado, Missouri, Nebraska, you will no longer have to enter policies using those structures. All policies. Can I get a hand raise if you guys can hear me? Okay, thank you, because my phone just kind of went crazy. All right, so I know I got some yays and some woohoos. This is awesome. So what we're going to do is from today on, you will no longer have to add in those policies using those structures. What we're going to do here, we are going to move all of those policies from those structures, ending in the A's, to all of the AZ, CO, MO, and NE structures. We're going to move all the attachments, all the activities into the new structure. But, I know there's always a but, none of the transactions are going to move, so those are still going to sit in that structure. So if you do need to see anything that was paid on a previous policy, we can show you how to run a report for that. So this is exciting news. I thought you guys would be more excited about this. I thought everybody would be woohoo and hipping and hollering. Woohoo! I know, because it's been a really big pain, yes. Kathy said, yep. Anissa said, yep, they are. They're excited. All right, so that is amazing. Effective today. Today, you do not have to. So if you have any policies in there today and you're going, oh no, I need to switch those, guess what? You don't have to. We're going to do that for you. So we're really excited about that. We're going to send out some more correspondence to everybody in regards to that. And also, if you are talking to other agents, let them know, get the word out that this is not a thing anymore. No more AZA, COA, MOA, NEA. Woohoo! I'm so excited. All right, so we also have some more news. The Dream Team, Kathy and I, we are coming to a city near you. Woo! I know. So we're going to be in Arizona.
Is the bus ready, Laura?
The bus is ready, right? So we're really excited about this. So we're going to be coming to Arizona. We're going to have one here in the home office here in Illinois, and we're also going to have one in Kansas City, Missouri. I got a typo on that. So those are the dates. We're going to, of course, send out more information on all of this. So I'm really excited that I shared all of the Asnoa University updates with you. Please remember, we are here for you in the training department. Anissa, Kathy, and myself, we are here to help you register for all of the sessions that we have to offer. All right, so Megan, our marketing director, she's going to tell you guys what's new with Asnoa.
Oh yeah, I am not going to have that same enthusiasm. I'll try to match Laura's oh my goodness. Okay, So raise your hand if you have registered for the ASNOA Sales Conference and Trade Show yet. All right, Eric, yeah, you're going to be winning money for the marketing. Keith, awesome. All right, Melinda, Kristen, Maurice, yeah, you also are registered for the contest. You're going to kill it. Let's see. So what I'm commenting, and what we're going to get to, is of people that have registered for the conference. The earlier you can register, you can start paying off your hotels on your ASNOA deduction statement. So the earlier you register, the less you have to pay per month. And you also get scholarships and cash contests. So for example, Eric Ash has signed up to be the marketing master, where he is going to put in and try to win the best marketing and most creative, unique marketing campaign and win $500 and some nice big high fives and recognition at the ASNOA event. Kristen Maurice is signed up to be the ASNadvocate. Yeah, you know it, Eric. Kristen Maurice signed up to be the ASNadvocate, I believe, which we're so excited about, where she's going to join as many Live with Laura's and webinars and carrier spotlights as she can, and then that will get her to win $500 as well. Yeah, Kristen.
Yeah, awesome.
All right, so you guys got to register. Please keep in touch. So we'll go to the next slide. So we'll give you some more information here. So the first one is in beautiful Scottsdale, Arizona. It's the JW. Normally it's like a $400 or $500 a night hotel and resort, but we're getting it for just $149. So you're getting like a 70% off discount before, after. Come stay by the pool, get a cabana, bring your family, bring your friends, get some drinks. So you'll see Arizona, California, Colorado, Nebraska, Nevada, Texas, and Washington. You guys can all attend this one at the JW in Scottsdale, Arizona. And we have crazy different agendas with breakout speakers and workshops and panelists. It's not going to be a vendor sales show anymore. All right, so August 26th to the 28th is for all of our Missouri people: Connecticut, Georgia, Illinois, Indiana, Massachusetts, Michigan, Missouri, New Jersey, Ohio, Pennsylvania, Tennessee, and Wisconsin. This one is at a big casino in St. Charles, Missouri, which happens to be Laura's favorite place in the whole world.
It is. If you have not been to St. Charles, Missouri, I recommend everybody going. That town is so cute. I love all those little shops.
Okay, so next screen, talk about the scholarships and contests. So this is what I was referencing. So every event, you're going to win once a month. So in February right now, we have the most new PL Auto and home packages issued in February. So what you do is you make sure you have all of your Epic data up to date. Work with Laura, work with Anissa, work with Kathy. Make sure your PL Auto and home packages are issued in Epic. And the person that has the most, which could be anyone's game in February, will win a full ride to the ASNOA Sales Conference.
What?
In their region.
Whoa.
Yeah, flight, lodging, breakfast, lunch, and dinner, all your drinks. Everything. Get your new PL Auto and home packages issued in February.
Holy cow, that's amazing.
Yep. So each month we'll do this. March is new CLWP issued in March. April is most new policies issued in April. PIF count. May is most new life WP in May, and then we have an ongoing one that is in honor of this Live with Laura subject. Is the most warm referrals. So the most referrals you give to ASNOA. The more you have them, the more you send them in, the more that they work, the more that you're likely to have a full ride scholarship to the conference closest to you. So it's pretty cool. And the next screen are the cash prizes I was also referencing. Oh no, Laura, you got too excited. Keep going back. There we go.
I was so excited about that.
So these are the cash prizes. You can also win $500. First one's Niche Ninja. It's a lot of reading. This is all on our website. I'll just summarize it. Where if you're right in the niche market, you can win $500 between now and May. Social Savant, start doing cross posts, likes, shares, all of our Facebook stuff. You can win $500, pretty easy peasy.
Absolutely.
Marketing Master, Eric Ash, hopefully he doesn't completely dominate this. Anybody coming in can come up with a new marketing campaign, submit it to us, and if it's the most creative one voted by the staff, you can win $500. And then the biggest, ASNadvocate. That's Laura's favorite word, hashtag ASNawesome.
It's ASNawesome.
Yeah, highest level of engagement. All right. Okay, and then the big thing that Laura kind of mentioned was the road shows. So on this screen, you can see that there is no longer an EPIC class at the ASNOA conference. So our conferences are going to be all about business strategies. What can you do in order to help grow your business, be a better producer, get higher retentions, remarket, cross-sell, anything that you want to help grow your business. We are not diving into the specifics of EPIC anymore, and we are not diving into the specifics of vendor products anymore. So that first day is no longer an EPIC class. That's why Laura and Kathy are going on the road to bring the EPIC class to those that really need it and want it and love it. But everything else at the conference is all about making you a better business owner, worker, producer, CSR, everything like that. All right.
I love it.
So in that same spotlight, we have ASNOA blog. So we constantly, at least every week, put up a new blog about referrals, how to be more organized. Look, Laura, oh my gosh, you have an,
I have my own blog.
Read Laura's blog. And then what's new, business tips, all the things, anything to help kind of make your business grow more efficient, and anything like that. You can always bring in, every ASNOA Advantage, we send out a survey where that you can click and let us know what subjects you want us to cover. Speaking of which, we have the ASNOA Advantage. Please read this. It compiles all of the information, ASNOA announcements, news, ASNOA University, Anissa's Corner, where you can ask her questions, Ask Anissa, and then Kathy's Corner, where you can talk to her as well. And so all of our information is compiled here, and all of our announcements are made through the ASNOA Advantage. So if you don't get it, or you think it's going to your spam, please email myself, and my team will figure out what happened to get those emails in your inbox. All right. And the next thing that we're doing, because of the subject about reviews and referrals, is that you can leave a review or referral for ASNOA now. So go to Google, go to Facebook, please leave us a review. And Laura has a special thing that she wants to do for anyone that leaves a review and mentions her.
I will give you each $1. I know it's crazy. $1 if you can leave a review and talk about how much you love the Live with Laura monthly sessions. $1.
$1.
I know.
That's amazing.
To be paid at the sales conference. Disclaimer, you must go to the sales conference.
That's great.
Yeah.
Great news. All right, so we'll get more into that as a strategy when we talk to Brian and Steve. Laura and I are kind of flying through this because we want to save as much time as possible for Steve and Brian to give you tips and tricks about what they do for referrals and reviews.
Thank you, Megan, for sharing all of that great information. Remember, at the end of Live with Laura, you're going to get an evaluation. Please fill it out. Let me know what you want to see on the next Live with Laura in March. So without further ado, I'd like to welcome Brian Bradley and Steve Gebhardt. We're so excited to hear what they have and what they're doing for customer referrals, customer reviews, and getting their staff involved as well.
All right, so we have a lot of new agents that have signed on to this Live with Laura, which we love to see. So we have a lot of newcomers coming in. So Brian, Steve, why don't we take a real quick second before we dive into the questions and have you just do a quick introduction to yourself. So Brian, if you want to go first, just let everyone know, who you are, what you do, and then we'll let Steve answer, and then we'll dive into the questions.
Sure thing. Thanks. My name is Brian Bradley. I am an agency owner in Lincoln, Nebraska. I also used to be an American Family agent for about 7 years before making the jump over. About 2 years ago, took over as the partner for the state here in Nebraska with ASNOA, and we kind of live and die with our activity by referrals here in our agency in some ways. So that's kind of what we do at this point. Yeah, what else did you want to know?
No,
Laura?
we'll dive into the questions. So
introduction-wise.
Yeah, no, I'd say that's good. So
that's
Steve,
good.
Yeah, who are you? If everyone doesn't know who Steve is yet. All right, you are unmuted now, Steve.
And you are self-muted, Steve.
Uh-oh.
Okay, can you hear me?
Yeah.
I'm Steve Gebhardt. I joined ASNOA as an affiliate in April of 2008, and about 5 years ago, I joined as an agency owner, and it's built up a nice team over here. We have 20 employees in the agency, and I'm in a little town called Casa Grande, Arizona. If you don't know where that is, it's about halfway in between Phoenix and Tucson. About 4.5, 5 years ago, I was approached to become the partner in Arizona. And so the gentleman who brought me in, George Novak, he recruited me from American Family.
Oh,
Can you guys still hear me? It kind of cut there.
Kind of cut off there for a second, Steve.
Yep. He recruited me from American Family. He asked me to take over for him as a partner here in Arizona. And now I'm the partner in Arizona, Nevada, and Southern California.
All right, perfect. Thank you so much, Steve. All right, so let's jump into some questions here so the agents get the most out of you. So Brian, tell us about a successful referral campaign that you have run in your agency for P&C clients.
Yeah, so when I first talked to Megan and Laura about this, I was telling them about we were one of the first agencies. We have been a big adopter of technology in our agency. We're kind of lean and mean in our office. We don't have as many employees as Steve does. And we try to use technology to leverage not having as many people. And we jumped on board with the Rocket Referral program that Asnoa was offering a few years ago when we started looking for review platforms. And we worked really hard to make it an automated process. So something that we would integrate with Epic, that when you type in the referral's name in a certain blank, it would automatically create a card or an email that would go out to the referral source. A little bit of cleanup work if they're not one of your clients to make sure it goes to the right place. But then every time after that first time, it's just something that automatically kind of pops and would go out. And they would get a card and maybe a little gift card along with that referral. And of course, I saw in here one of the questions they were asking is, do you do that for every referral, warm referral, or just for policies written? We only do it for policies written. If someone actually buys a policy for us, they would get some kind of referral thank you from our agency. And a lot of that activity, since we became independent agents and left the captive side, a lot of that activity really has come from referrals from partnerships with realtors and mortgage officers. And it sounds cliched. And one of my Big I friends here that came and sat down with us the first week we were a new agency was like, hey, I know a girl that built her whole agency just off a couple of referrals sources with realtors and mortgage people. And at first you kind of roll your eyes and like, yeah, right. But what you realize is that on the independent side, you have a 70-80% close ratio. If you get a chance to quote it and it's a warm handoff like that, you're going to write a lot of those. And what we kind of pride ourselves in doing is making our realtor friends look really good and being very efficient for our mortgage banker friends. And then my partner here in the agency, Stan, will also go around to some of those people, maybe quarterly, and kind of just make sure they know we really appreciate them for sending people our way, because it's not often you get to go back the other way. And then maybe once a year, on top of all that, maybe twice a year, we'll give them a little something more substantial, a bottle of wine, something a little nicer to say thank you, and just to create that traction with that referral source to make sure they send people our way. And of course, we also bill to them that we don't have sales quotas. We're not going to sell them life insurance if they don't want it. We're not going to do the things we were all kind of forced to do when we were captives. We're going to have open, honest conversations with their clients and help them make good decisions about their insurance needs. So those approaching things that way, having the traction we have, the close ratio we have, the contracts we have in our area, being competitive, that has just all kind of led to a really good funnel. And as long as we touch base with those people and have kind of an automated system in place to make sure they know we're very thankful for them, it's led to a lot more referrals. So
awesome, great. So you touched on a lot of key points here, and we'll dive deeper with some more questions. Let's give Steve a nice start talking about an incentive campaign or a successful referral campaign that you've run in your agency for P&C clients.
All right, Steve, you're self-muted.
Can you hear me now?
We
I don't know why it doesn't. One of the big things that we do here to get referrals in the agency is we used an automated platform, like Brian mentioned, Rocket Referrals, or now the new Asnoa platform, Fuse. And one, we noticed right away was that you get a lot of honest feedback, and some of it's, challenging to deal with. In fact, my office manager, Crystal, would say, I hate these reviews, these people just all complain. And I'm like, well, this is actually real life data. This is not a chance for us to be mad at them for speaking their mind. And we've done this now for about 3 years. And as time has gone on, maybe we get one complaint a month now on these these reviews that they're actually leaving for us, in the agency without going to Google and putting nasty things there. We're seeing them first. So what we do now is we actually reach out to those folks every time we get good, bad, or indifferent, which I would say our average is probably a 9 or a 10, mostly 10s on the reviews, is we ask them to give us a Google review, a Facebook review, or a Yelp review. A lot of folks don't have Yelp. So usually we get Facebook and Google reviews. And by far the most valuable review you can garner would be a Google review. And, that we actually ask our staff, whoever dealt with that person, to call out, ask them to give us a review. And if they mention that employee's name, we give the employee $2. We've actually done it where it's as high as $5, $10 one month. We wanted a big push on reviews. So we did that. But those reviews also, because of social media, those populate into the Facebook friends inboxes and their walls, as well as on their Google walls. If you ever notice, you go to Google, if you have a friend that left a review, those populate towards the top. So those are automatic reviews and referrals for your agency that, normally, if you're in a small town or a big town, that's a big deal. But as far as, getting the referrals, again, we leverage our assets with mortgage partners. Mortgage partners are probably the best referral source in your agency. Realtors, realtors can be busy. Sometimes they can be very slow, but really everything comes through the mortgage broker. So working on, leveraging that is a great resource. We send out cards for mortgage brokers on their behalf without our name on them to their clients about 5 times a year. We have a program that we use internally for that. And so they get a greeting card maybe on Groundhog's Day or 4th of July, weird holidays that normally people don't send cards out, but they'll get a card for, on behalf of the mortgage broker. It doesn't have anything to do with Gebhardt Insurance. It has everything to do with the mortgage broker, but the mortgage broker loves it because they're getting free marketing from us. It doesn't cost us much more than a postage stamp and a card. And it seems to do really, really well. As well as getting community events going on. One of our big niches is in our community is we have a lot of snowbirds here. And in most parts of the country, if you live in a manufactured home, it's the slums. But in our area in Arizona, these manufactured homes are what seniors live in. They love them. They're full of amenities. The parks have, pickleball and basically everything you can think of in one community. And we leverage that by insuring these homes and giving them a sticker to commence the policy, basically. So everybody that has a policy from Gebhardt Insurance in these communities has a sticker that says protected by Gebhardt Insurance. It looks like a security decal. And I would never put one on my house or my car, but you'd be surprised when I go through these parks that have 1,400 homes in them and we insure 30–40% of the homes. I see the stickers right on the window because when they're not home, they worry about who's going to be around to take care of the problem, the claim, the wind claim, or the microburst comes through and blows the awning off. We're going to be here. They're not going to be here. So people want to know who to call. But more importantly, later on down the road, in 5 to 8 years, these people usually live in these homes. They're going to move from these homes. And guess what? The new guy comes and he sees a protected by Gebhardt Insurance sticker on the window. That's an instant referral. And it didn't cost much to get. Actually, a silent salesman on the door. So we've done really well with those two. Just a couple little things that we do.
That is an awesome idea, and that's so unique and so easy. So we have, and you're really engaging. We have several questions here we want to address. So Hattie has a question that if you are sending out emails, say through Fuse, when to ask for a review, do you also use team members to further reach out and follow up from that initial email to ask for a review on a public source like Google, Facebook, or Yelp. So do you follow up on those emails with a phone call or with any other client-based interface?
This is Steve again. Yeah, we do definitely. We follow up with a human touch. Doing basically Fuse. We'll reach out to the customer automated. Consumers can get smarter these days. They used to be you get an email from Bob. You suspected Bob was actually sending it. Now I think folks figure that's a computer maybe some of the times. And that's why we like to make a phone call out on a good, bad, or indifferent. We call on the referrals and ask for a review. If we're doing our job, we say, hey, you mind going on Google and giving a review? It's
nice.
It's technology meeting the human element.
Ooh, that's a great way to put that. Okay, we have another question to you, Steve, from Renell. Is it Recamp that you're referring to when you're talking about the weird holiday greeting cards?
Exactly, Recamp. Yeah, I actually, Renell was the name. Was that the name that asked?
Mm-hmm.
Was Renell maybe an AmFam agent? Because I used my AmFam ACP marketing dollars to buy that program way back then, and I still use it to this day. It's a great deal.
Not actually sure, Renell. If you want to answer through the chat, you guys can further talk about that. But also, Steve, do you pay per referral or just when the referral becomes an active policy?
In Arizona, we have a law for we cannot pay based on the commission of a sale, so we have to pay on referrals either way. I don't really like to pay on referrals actually. Paying the consumer for the referral, I like to pay for I don't pay on referrals. I don't pay on them. If somebody buys a policy or not, I'm generally not going to pay anybody for that. I pay my employees who get Google reviews on Facebook, LinkedIn, Yelp, whatever source they get. If they mention their names, I'll pay on that. But I don't specifically pay the consumer any money.
Okay, interesting. I love the different perspectives. Okay, so Brian, jumping back to you, what about commercial clients? So what is your approach? Does it differ towards getting referrals from businesses versus like a P&C client?
Well, it's a different animal. It's a long game approach, but I have found in our market that a lot of the best referrals for commercial lines insurance, one, you have to position yourself as knowing more than other people. So get into the commercial lines training course that Asnoa offers, do some CE with the big I, whatever. Make sure you know your stuff, and then when property managers need you, build some relationships with property managers. They're not going to give you something right away, but if you know a few or you know where to go in your area to find a few property managers, it's kind of like the mortgage broker for especially lesser's risk policies. Those guys have their hands in everything.
So really quick,
a
lot of people just starting out, sorry to interrupt, but how do you even approach or establish that relationship? If you're just starting out, like it's a cold, I know I need to talk to this person.
The second part of that, I was going to say, second part of that is some of your best referrals are your old friends that were old captive agents you used to know. They can't write jack squat. We couldn't write a work comp policy to save our life when we were American Family agents here in this market, but now we can write work comp all day long, monoline with like 10 different carriers. So if you know you have people that don't know what they're doing and you have relationships with them, it's not only a great advertising opportunity for what we do and becoming an Asnoa agent, it's also dollars in your pocket because they can't do it and they'd rather have a relationship with somebody who can, that's not going to poach everything. And if you're really good at knowing how to play that game with your captive insurance friends, you can get, I just wrote a bond the other day for somebody who they needed just a bond for the city. And, we didn't do a lot of that when we were captive. Now we do it when we need to. And then now I'm quoting the whole business for this guy that has a medical supply company. So those things will come your way. I would say with property managers, it's not really a one truth, and maybe Steve has some wisdom on how he's done this in his area if he does it. The biggest thing is you got to, just like anything, you got to meet them and know them. And probably the best way to do that is to take a little time and stop into their office, get involved in some networking events in your area, and try to specifically find a way to meet commercial property managers, and just face-to-face time. Commercial insurance is not quite as automated as you can do with homes and autos. It's still a little more face-to-face time with people, at least in my experience.
That is awesome. I love that. So Dan Corvus had a question. Dan, we're going to answer that offline to keep this moving, so we want to make sure we have plenty of time to cover a lot of the content in here. So we'll get back to you via email. All right, so Steve, what do you do differently with commercial clients? Is your approach towards getting referrals from businesses different than PNC?
Hold on 1 second, Steve.
Oh,
there you go.
That was Laura's fault that time.
Laura.
I know.
I love what Brian said.
Not showing the love.
You have to get out and meet people, in this business. And I see a lot of Facebook. There's a lot of great Facebook user groups out there where there's independent agents that have come together to collaborate, and it's awesome. But I see less and less folks are getting away from actually working with humans, getting out and talking to people. And I'll say that word human a lot because I think it's super important to get out and actually meet people. Like Brian mentioned, you got to go out and meet people. Keyboard warriors are going to be great, and you can win the day with a lot of technology, but nothing beats the face-to-face, the round of golf, the lunch. If you don't play golf, buy some coffee, but go and meet these people, these people that are going to be able to command the landlord risk policy, the lesser's risk policies, any of those niches. But one of the things that I found to be sort of a funny thing or a fun thing I like to do is I like to go out and create a small video. Even with an iPhone, you can do this for that business. If you don't have, say a lot of knowledge about the community or the business that you want to write, target a niche, learn everything you can about restaurants, or learn everything you can about bar and tavern, or learn everything you can about chiropractors, and go and niche market that. But one of the things that I found is making a video and just putting it on Facebook and sharing it commands so much love from the business owner, and it gets your name out there because the business owner is going to share that video that you make for him. It doesn't, and I'm not telling you have to make a Hollywood, a Netflix original here. This can be an iPhone and with no software, Facebook Live style, and this is going to get you a huge amount of collateral from that business owner. Just doing those simple little things, you can really, leverage the business.
I would piggyback on that. I know there's a couple realtor friends of mine in our area that do like kind of new up and coming businesses. They highlight every month in Lincoln. They're not trying to sell that. I mean, they're not even doing commercial real estate. They just want attention. They want free ad time on Facebook for their agency or for their realtor business. And then they're also getting goodwill out into the community for local businesses. Those kind of ideas work. If you just have a little, with all the free tools out there now to make simple videos, that's a great idea, Steve.
Yeah, another thing too, I get phone calls, here in Arizona and Nevada and in SoCal, we're getting calls every day. Where do I insure and every agent in this room will chuckle when they hear this. Where do I insure the hot air balloon guy or the paraglider or the guy who he does makeup for a mortician? I mean, this stuff is the stuff you're getting phone calls on because guess what? Nobody else wants to write it. And so they're calling the independent broker or the agent, and that's not the guy you want to be. Of course, you're going to try to help those people out, but if you can get a steady flow of your normal appetite of what you want to eat, maybe it's restaurants, maybe it's bars and taverns or livery services, you're going to be a much more successful commercial agent. As far as getting referrals, we had a program. And if you can find a good niche, it will last, Joe Coble says 18 to 24 months. And that's a good number. We wrote some livery accounts in the past where they were hauling folks to doctor's appointments. And these accounts ranged from $5,000 a car, but we'd have accounts that were $300,000 accounts. And these were huge premiums, especially coming from American Family. That's a lot of premium. Well, what ended up happening is we started making flyers, going to trade shows, and people would tell me, well, I guess I have to pay the premium because you're the only game in town. And I was like taken back by that because that's the ultimate referral is now all of a sudden you're like the Maytag man. Everybody thinks you never break down and you just sit around, right? And that's the perception. But really, there is a lot of other opportunities in town. It's not just me, but that's the persona that people have been led to believe, or that through your advertising and marketing efforts, those are the ultimate referrals right there. Is making people think.
My partner Stan is probably a great my partner Stan's probably a great example of that exact thing, where he has a niche with Russian-speaking business owners, and specifically has family members that are in like long haul and short haul trucking, and that's not a great loss prevention market, but there's good premium in that business, and he's been able to write a number of accounts, and just having some friendships and connections with a couple brokers that specialize in doing transportation needs when we can't write it with our one or two contracts that we have. I mean, that's been a great boon to our agency, and you're right, Steve's right, it won't last forever. You'll get 2-3 years out of it, and that premium might go away, but it's a great boost to your bottom line, and it's a niche market for him that's also a natural target market. You know, he speaks the language, they want to do business with him, he understands the cultural understanding of what they're doing. Like, start where you already are, I guess, is the wisdom there. Don't recreate the wheel, go learn something you're already interested in, find out how to insure it, and then go from there, jump off from there with some of the ideas Steve already threw out.
Yeah, and there's 100 ideas out there that you want to hit. I mean, you know who nobody goes after? Nonprofits. Nobody wakes up in the morning or when they're a kid and they're 8 years old and they say, Daddy says, what do you want to do when you grow up, son? Nobody says, I want to insure nonprofits. It's just not something people do. And there's a million of them out there. Our country every day.
And there's a billion programs that our contracts have. To write those. We have a lot of programs to write that stuff. Yeah.
And you can become an expert. You know, if not every agent knows how to write sexual abuse, molestation, professional liability, you can learn those programs and go in and just kill it. And you can join these organizations. And these aren't niches that are going to go away. Long haul truckers, the drivers and livery drivers, they have two things in common: bad driving records. And that honestly will kill your business and your bottom line at the end of the day, because that business is going to leave you, because the programs will go away. But nonprofits, there's very little risk there, and you could write that stuff every day. We have an agent in Arizona that writes daycares. He writes hundreds and hundreds of daycares, and that's his deal. He actually has shirts made up. It says daycare insurance specialist. That's his thing. And guess what? Everybody goes to Derek when they want a daycare. So that's the kind of stuff you need to figure and focus in on, and that's the ultimate referral, I think.
All right. So you guys mentioned that, like, in Arizona, you can't pay for referrals or anything like that. So do you get around that at all, you two, and providing a gift or a thank you to businesses or clients that refer? So it's not related at all to the referral. It's just a gift to a client.
I don't pay the client at all. I just give a little $5 gift card to the mortgage banker or the realtor. In the past, I have at least, and I don't have to do it all the time. But we don't necessarily pay the person, I guess. But someone mentioned that thing Recamp before. One of the parts of that, it was you'd send out 2 movie tickets to the client, every year to thank them for their business. Beyond that, people love movie tickets too.
Yeah, people love them. But beyond that, we can't give a rebate. They call it rebate in Arizona, but we can't give a rebate.
Yeah, we have the same restriction. Yeah.
Yeah, and so you can rebate a client in Arizona up to $25 now a policy, but you can't give someone, like, say Brian was an unlicensed person and said, here's my brother. I can't actually give him a nickel. In Arizona, that's considered paying an unlicensed professional. So we can't do much there. But we can do other things, client appreciation events that these folks maybe get invited to. Even the videos we make, we're very careful to make videos for clients and non-clients. That way it's not construed as a rebate of value more than $25, because certainly a video would be maybe worth more than $25. So
I've heard of other agents that will buy like lottery tickets as thank yous. Cost you $1, $2, and they'll write like a little note, hope you win $1 million or something like that. And just little ideas like that are just a little off the wall. Movie ticket, people like that kind of stuff. Just be creative,
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I've also heard of people like doing cutting boards with the logo of the real estate or the mortgage partner on it as a gift, so that they can use, or things like that. And it's just a simple maintaining the relationship kind of item. Hey, Steve, do you keep mentioning?
Yeah, and that's the kind of thing I would do if we were gonna do that in our office. We would do it like this past year. I've got a friend who's a wine curator. She helped us get some really nice gifts together for our top referral partners. that's the kind of thing I would do at the end of the year, or when you're kind of reassessing, where did most of my business come from this year? You know, and tracking it. That's one thing that we're building out, and I'm sure Megan will want to talk about this more. We're trying to recreate some of the experience I've had with our Rocket Referral program and our new Fuse program, and making sure that works similarly. But being able to track who gave me the most business this year, so I can give them something really nice like that, you know. Yeah, those things work too. Something customized just for them.
There's a guy online. I can't remember his name, but I'll find it and maybe send it to Megan. She can share it with you guys. But what he does is he gives, every time someone refers him a piece of business, he gives the money in 7 buckets, and the people can pick it, and not literally buckets, the buckets of money. And say there's one for the St. Jude's Hospital, one for the Salvation Army, and the people can pick. And at the end of the year, he's the hero, and he has a check for $1,200 to St. Jude's and a check for $10,000 to the Salvation Army. And so the consumers have been giving, he's been basically every time they write a policy that's referred, the referral money goes into these charities. And so he gets kind of a double shot. He gets the shot from the arm from the client who think that's great. Then he gets the shot in the arm for the Facebook picture or the video or the social media collateral of him giving a check away to a nonprofit. So there's all these different little things.
Okay, so what about a campaign that did not work that either of you have tried?
I mean, one thing we tried to do in the past, this is actually, I've got a guy in my office who, I don't use one of my offices. He leases a little space from me, and he does like real neighborhood publications. And we tried to push into that before I let him use the space. And they do something unique. They don't just have a publication. They do ads every month, but then they do these events that they sponsor, and they try to get you in front of the homeowner. And we tried to get in on that and thought, this is unique. We'll try to do this. It just didn't work for us. It didn't work. And I'm convinced some of that is just because of the nature of how that worked. Now, they have another publication that only caters to realtors, and that's been a much better place for us to put an ad in and get to go to events, even though we're not sure if it's turning into dollars right away compared to the realtors I know personally that are sending us things. It's still exposure to the people we want to see, mortgage bankers, realtors, other people involved in the home buying process. Whereas in a neighborhood, you go out to a wine party with your neighborhood association, you don't want to see the insurance guy there. You know what I mean? It's just that didn't work. So we pulled the plug on that one and refocused our marketing dollars. And I hear other people say things like, well, referral groups didn't work for me, or that group didn't work for me. But I'm convinced that most of that is just you don't have the right person there with you, or you're not focused with that right niche that you need to talk to. Sometimes it's just about the makeup of the people in the group, or making sure you, like Steve was saying, you actually go meet people. The keyboard warrior thing doesn't work as well as actually being present in the community every now and then. So.
Great. We have a question here from Jennifer Wheelcock. Has anyone tried local high school sponsoring or local police department? Have you tried those routes? Have that worked well for you, Brian? You can answer first, and then Steve, you can jump in.
Well, I did have some experience with that when I was back in my captive days. I have not done much with that since I've been on the independent side, but there were a few programs that we tried to tap into and use to get ourselves into the door with high schools to offer like the safe driving programs and things that are available for teenagers. I kind of feel like it's the same thing as writing renter's insurance just to get my numbers up. I'm getting applications in the door, but the premium is pathetic, right? So, and we get paid on premium, not numbers, right? So it feels a little bit like I'm making inroads with a bunch of teenage drivers who probably going to have really bad experiences over the next few years with their and not as enough with their parents and some of those things. But I think if you could find a program that is focused narrowly enough that you get to actually be part of the community part of that as opposed to the kid part of that, it'll probably pay off for you more, if that makes sense. Where you're talking with the principals and the school administration and maybe the police nonprofit or whatever organization you're trying to get in with, if you can find a way to be part of that as opposed to just teaching a class on financial responsibility, you're probably going to get more referrals from that kind of high level connection. You might feel like you're giving back more and doing something just for personal benefit and community benefit if you're teaching the personal finance, junior achievement, whatever class, to kids. So
that is a great way to put it. You're paid on premium, not numbers. So Steve, tell us about a campaign that didn't work for your company.
One time when I was with AmFam, I bought shopping carts. Receipt paper at the local grocery store. That was great. It made me feel wonderful. It was like a chocolate chip cookie. I enjoyed eating it, but I didn't like the end result. I gained weight, right? Or I didn't sell any policies, and it felt great for people to say, "I saw you on the back of the receipt," but it didn't really make any money for me. I've had similar experiences from agents that will say, "I have a billboard." I talked to a State Farm guy. He goes, I put all my money in a billboard, $5,000. I said, how many policies did you sell from that? He said, none. I said, well, that's not great. So, I think if you I think at the end of the day, whatever you do, you have to be able to leverage the data that comes from it, like the billboard. I think if you're big enough and you've got a name recognition, hey, the billboard's probably a great way to keep your name there. But folks probably in this room are probably not going to want to, they're going to want to focus on more things where you're actually going to be able to track, numbers from getting referrals or having them fill out an entry to win or something like that. It's just not the best way to go. So somebody asked about police though, and football teams or schools. Safeco has a player of the game program that I think is great, and you can talk to your local rep about that, where they'll donate money. The school has to accept you as the insurance agent for the team, basically. But if they do that, they get a scholarship given to them every year for what's called the player of the game. And every game you sit around and work with coaching staff, and you decide who the player of the game is. And you, as the insurance agent, are now shown as a leader. And you say, this is Bobby Johnson, he's the player of the game, and you put that on your social media and things like that. The school makes money because Safeco gives them money. You get money, or you're getting all the basically Facebook and Instagram collateral for being the guy commanding who's the player of the game. It's a great deal. Somebody asked about the police and fire. We did a crazy thing out here, and I'm full of crazy ideas. Some of them have worked, some of them haven't, but this one's worked. It's a live traffic cams on intersections prone to accidents. We put up 4 of those in our community, and they get 35,000 to 40,000 minutes of view time every month. And the police use them. We partner with them. We insure almost all the police. I mean, it's been phenomenal. But that's not just an easy undertaking to do, but it's worked really well. But it's taken a lot of time for me to make it happen. But
all right, those are great ideas. We love all your crazy cuckoo ideas. They tend to work and make everyone have a fun time. So really quickly too, before we open it up for questions, Steve, you have an interesting Facebook ticker in your office. You are able to utilize social media for reviews and then referrals. Do you want to tell us a little bit more about how you utilize social media reviews to your favor?
Yeah, we actually have a Facebook ticker in our office. It's called a SMIRL, SMIRL. If you guys have an office that is in a small community that people walk in, I mean, some agencies, nobody ever comes in, but in our agency, we're in a small town. People walk in, they want to shake hands, see the agents, So we put the ticker in the office, and literally this company makes these tickers for Facebook, YouTube, Instagram, probably other social media outlets as well. But it will count your likes in real time. And it's like an old alarm clock with they call them flags. So if somebody likes your page on Facebook, about 2 seconds later, your Facebook tickler will actually go, and then it reacts to the new like instantly. So, I hope everybody on this call maybe goes on and likes my page, and then I can enjoy.
What does it do when you unlike it, Steve? Does it go like?
Oh yeah. No, it makes the same dramatic effect, but it just subtracts.
Okay, all right.
You know what I've learned though is sometimes we'll come in from like a crazy weekend and we'll have like 20 less likes, and I'm like, what happened? People just get off of Facebook. and then they'll get back on. It's weird, you know. They I don't know what happens. They have a falling out with Facebook, and then later on they join again. But our likes are constantly going up. But it's a pretty cool little idea, and customers like it. And when they're there, they see it, and there's a little sign that says "Like us on Facebook," and I think some of them think that we actually like spin a wheel or something to make it change, but no, I mean, literally in front of their eyes, it's crazy.
Nice. All right, so we're gonna open it up. We got a bunch of questions coming in here. We want to make sure we have time for all the answers. So first, we have another one from Jennifer. She wants to know if anyone's tried to offer professional headshots to get businesses in and sell commercial personal lines.
I've actually done that. This is Steve. I attended what's called the Photo Booth Expo in Las Vegas, Nevada. I bought 2 photo booths and I use them, and it works really well. But we've also done professional headshots for realtors and mortgage brokers as well. Both of them are great ideas because you're going to send them their file directly. But it takes a couple things. You actually have to have skill to take the pictures, and you have to have the time. So if you can make that happen, it's a great way to go. But the photo booths are actually better, I believe, because you can drop them off at an event, and they're literally just made for your business. They say your name all over them. They're really awesome. The company we use is called Salsa, just like the salsa you'd eat, Salsa Booth. And Photo Booth Supply Company makes them. But we have 2 of those, and we use them at all of our events, and they work really well.
Okay.
I can imagine that working well if you were to partner up with local photographers. If you didn't have the money to buy a photo booth, or someone that you in office takes really great photos or something like that, or is trained. But I can imagine partnering up with a local photographer and paying their bill, and maybe even setting up a day where you go to the realtor office and say, hey, if anybody needs a new headshot, we're going to set up back here in the corner and fill it up every hour. And then you just get to talk with those people, all day long. I could see that being something that would work, but you'd have to just be creative, because if you were hiring someone out, that could get expensive really fast.
Yeah, and there's actually companies that do what you just asked. There's a guy out of San Francisco. His name's Two Dudes Photography. That's literally his business. This is just what you asked. He will come to a trade show, and he will take professional headshots of people, but he's got expensive equipment, the best lighting, that's the big key, and the best cameras, like Hasselblad cameras. He'll take the pictures, but you know what his real job is to do? Is to collect data on all the people that come to the show.
Yep.
So that's why he's there. I mean, the output and the consumer loves the picture, but guess what? They just got all your stuff, and that's why the trade show will pay him to be there. And the line wraps around the building. People want their pictures taken. So it's a good thing to do if you can make it happen.
Yeah, I've seen that at trade shows before. All right, so Hattie wants to, Steve, if you can repeat what that Facebook like device is called.
It's called the Smurl. S is in Sam, M-I-R-L. Smurl. And if you can't remember that, just Google Facebook like counter. It will come up.
Okay. Yeah. All right. Is there any other questions too while we still have the captivated audience? All right. You can have a chance to write down your questions and think about it. We're just going to take a quick second for Laura's going to do a demonstration of how you track referrals in Epic. Brian and Steve kept continuously talking about tracking it, how you're able to look at the end, see which businesses are giving you the most referrals for gifts, all of that. So just like 20 seconds while you're writing down and thinking about your questions. Laura's going to do a quick Epic demo, and then we'll have closing remarks from Steve and Brian.
All right. Thank you, Brian and Steve. That was amazing information. So you guys were talking so much about tracking that I just wanted to quickly come into Epic to show you guys a referral activity. So there is this activity, REFE. So if you wanted to add it in, I already have one here for our training clients. So we have the REFE referral. You can go ahead if you were going to follow up on any activity you want to follow up on, you can add it to your calendar, your Outlook calendar, because Epic and Outlook are integrated together. You can add any notes. And when you click on detail here, you can come in here and take a look at tasks. You can add some tasks, and maybe for this client, you are going to ask for referrals. As soon as you've asked this client to give you referrals, you can mark that as completed, okay? Then when you reach out to that referral that they gave you, you can go ahead and close that task as well. You can add in more tasks just by clicking add, and add in your own. So maybe your office has a different way of tracking any of the asking for referrals or reviews. You can track that all in Epic by using an activity. All right, so that's the activity. You can run a report to get those referral activities and maybe find out every week, okay, we need to contact this person. We need to add that referral into Epic. Another great thing, once you get your clients from the referrals, you can add in agency-defined categories on each one of your clients' accounts. So maybe you got them, maybe they were a former AmFam client. You can come in here and add in that they were a referral. Maybe you want to link them as a relationship with another one of your clients. So you can add that in to keep track into Epic how you're getting your clients, what's working for you. So with agency-defined categories, maybe you got that from the sales conference that you went to, or maybe you were at the Starbucks, you know, and you are giving out quotes. You can track that all right here with agency-defined categories. If you put an ad in a paper, track it. If you have a billboard, track it. See what works so you know what you're spending your money on and if you're getting your return in investment. And that's using agency-defined categories. Does anybody have any questions on any of the agency-defined categories, activities, tracking any of that in Epic? Right.
All right, so Nathan had a question. Thank you for writing that down and answering it now. Absolutely not. If we missed anything on this, it's too bad. No, I'm just kidding. Of course, we're going to send a recording out to anybody who attended so that you can come back, you can replay what Steve and Brian are suggesting for tips for your referral programs and for reviews. Well, also, Steve, would you be willing to share one of your video examples of when you send out those videos that you're talking about so that people can see an example of a video that works well?
Yeah, am I still muted?
No.
Okay. What type of video would you like to see?
Are you logged in, Steve, right now onto your computer, or are you just called in?
I called in.
Okay.
All right, so we can get a video you use for one of those niche markets that you're talking about, so that the referrals start working really well.
Are they on your Facebook page, Steve?
Yeah, they're on the Facebook page, yeah.
Okay,
Awesome.
So we'll pick out a favorite one. We'll share that with everyone. We encourage you to go to Covenant Insurance and Gebhardt Insurance Group Facebook pages to see what they're recommending in action as well. And we'll include that in the follow-up. So if there aren't any other questions, if there's any closing remarks, Steve or Brian, anything left that you have not had a chance to communicate out to the group? Otherwise, we're about 3 minutes over.
I would just say
no, everybody's welcome to reach out individually too.
All right. Steve, what do you have to say?
Just, go out and try to meet some more folks and continuously develop your referral partners. At some point in your agency, that should be your goal. Be a business owner and less of an insurance salesperson, and focus on the marketing arm of the business, and just creating revenue and leads for the agency should be eventually your long-term plan. And then you can have folks that work the business and take care of the leads that come in. That should be a goal that you should work on.
That is really well put. All right, so thank you, everybody. This is Megan here again. Let me know if you're not receiving the Asnoa Advantage, because it'll have all of these announcements and more. Please leave a review for Asnoa, And if you mention Laura in the review, she'll give you a whole $1. I can't even believe she's a whole $1. You know, if all 55 people leave a review and mention you, you're going to have to be doling out some dollar bills.
Holy cow, holy cow.
Yep. All right. And please check out the events pages, register, make sure that you get yourself in so you can win a scholarship or a contest. And we look forward to seeing everybody at the next event.
All right. Thanks, everybody, for joining. I look forward to hearing from you on our next Live with Laura. Please remember, come join all of our weekly trainings. Go to asnoa.com. You can register for everything you want to, from personal lines, commercial lines, easy links, downloads. We can take care of that all for you. So please join, register at asnoa.com. It was great having you all here with us. Thank you very much.